where real transformation starts to happen. You see them. There was a woman on this last year's summit. She said, Ray, I could feel that you just see me. You could see me through the screen. And I know when you're going to be speaking to some of these women at the summit, they're going to feel the same energy. They're going to feel you see them, see the struggles that they've been through. All right, the pain that they have had to carry, the words that they've been spoken upon, and the need for us to be seen in a different light. The need for your mentor. When we did our live recently, you had your community show up for you and say, that's my coach. That's her. Like, that's my woman.
Yeah, my boss mate, BFG gang.
Because you've poured into them. You gave them their belief, your belief into them. And they're here showing up for you. Go cry those tears.
Ray, you're so Ray. But yeah, it's like what you said. Like, I see them, and it's like being on this other side is like, it's scary. When I say the other side, I'm talking about the push through, the awakening, if you will. And there's many awakenings, but that original awakening where you realize, like, wow, society lied to us. Like, society really trapped our minds. Like, all the things that we used to wonder is like, it's a whole nother world. This is really bigger than us. So when you have that, and when you understand your calling and your purpose, I then stopped being afraid to be the one to go first. I understood that my assignment meant that they won't understand me because they've never saw it before, but I had to push through. But now I'm like, let me come get y'all. I had to stay rooted. I had to really deal with some ugly demons within me too, if I'm being honest. I really had to look at my ugly villain self sometimes in the mirror and really, really heal so I can learn to speak to their demons, so I can meet them truly where they were and help them realize that this is bigger than us. Society lied to us. So I get emotional when women like you, and not just women, but just spirit servants, see me, because that's like, yep, I'm on the right path. I do have an assignment over my life to let them know society lied. There are some powerful people who come from where I came from, but society tricked us. Society tricked us. So I'm here to be the evidence. This little Black girl can be a doctor. You can too. I can start an organization. You can too. It's bigger than us. So with the knives in my back, I'm going to show them how to take that survival to strategy. We more powerful than we know. So I'm here to let them know, and I'll be the evidence, and I will show it. So thank you for this platform. Thank you for allowing us to be us. Because there was a time they told me that my story was shameful. And here you are telling me my story is my victory. So if it's my victory, it's a miracle for another woman. So thank you.
Yeah. Oh, pave the way, pave the way. And there are so many women who need us, need to hear it, and need to know there's more out there for them. And there are spaces, safe spaces for them to heal, to be accepted, to be welcomed, to build those bridges. Right. And you're doing that. You're taking international stages, you're building those bridges, and you're not leaving them behind. And I love that you said how to turn your not pain into a strategy, right? How to turn everything that has happened to you into a strategy. Because guess what? If it hasn't killed you and you're still here, you still got a way to go, and you gotta go the whole way, because that's when you gotta go all out. And the strategy part is so important, because a lot of people who have gone through difficult times, you could play the victim, but this is not a time to play the victim. This is a time to play a warrior.
Yeah.
And know that only with having a plan in place, only having a strategy in place, and what is required to succeed, what is required for you to break out of
Yeah.
whether it's the mindset or whoever is holding you right back. This is not the time. And that's what I said in the breakout when I came on, that this is our time for women to rise and speak our truth.
It's time. It's time. The time is now. It's time. It's a movement. And we need women. We need the women, the woman power. It's time right now, today, in this moment.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. What day are you speaking on?
March 19th. I am speaking March 19th at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm so excited. Make sure y'all register right now. And if you really jazzy, you might as well get that VIP package because I got a little something special for you. So yeah.
Oh, girl, where do people find you and connect with you right now?
All right. So you can go to my website, therapistmikelde.com. And you can also follow me on all social media platforms, therapist_Mikelde.
Amazing. Well, do make sure you go ahead and connect with Mikkel. Drop her a message if this resonated with you. Look, just start a conversation because you never know where one conversation could lead to. But of course, we are going to see Mikkel delivering her powerful talk at the Women Thrive Summit, 19th of March. So make sure you are there live. You can join us free, or you can go ahead and upgrade your ticket and get all the incredible bonuses that our speakers have prepared for you. Mikkel, thank you so much for waking up so early and just being here in your presence and in your power to share this message with our audience.
Thank you for having me.
You're amazing. I'm so proud of our speakers. Oh, they light my fire. They speak from their truth, from their experience. They're here to make an impact. And if this event is anything to go by, the summit is going to be impactful. So we hope to see you there. But we're not over yet because we've got 2 more speakers to go today. And hey, come on, let me see you in the chat. Where are you joining from? Make sure you share this event to your social media followers. We had people joining in from different parts of the world. I see us streaming to different platforms. Let us know which platform you're watching on today. And support, because we'd love to also see your comments in the chat. Okay, now another amazing speaker from United States who woke up so early to be here today. Thank you to our speakers for doing that. We have another doctor, Dr. Leisha Antika, who has her PhD in transpersonal psychology. She's an educator and the founder of Your Own University, a global learning platform where cycle breakers finish healing and start living. Many turn their adversity stories into inspiring roadmap for others as coaches, teachers, healers in their certification programs. Her specialty has been helping thousands of people heal from the effects of relational trauma and reclaim their identity. For many childhood survivors, they find themselves there for the first time. And in her courses, she supports so many amazing people. Leisha,
good morning. Good morning. Thanks you guys for having me on this morning. I was just listening to everybody and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think this lineup could be more divinely orchestrated this morning. Change your thoughts, change your mind, retrain your nervous system, believe in yourself, know that you can overcome. Yes. And now let's write a book. Let's write about it. That's what I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, Leisha, I will hand over the mic to you and I'll be back at the end to have a little chit chat.
Okay, awesome. Oh, I am so honored to be a part of this community and this group. I think that all of us, as I listen, we had that calling. So if you have this calling inside of you that says, hey, I survived something, or I lived through something, or I have some experience in something, and it shaped you, your life shaped you, prepared you, trained you, then you're not alone. You're not alone. And you can make a career out of it. You can make a life from your story. And I help people rewrite their stories and step into that, because after helping so many people, mainly women, but people, I've worked with men as well, really come back to themselves, through the identity method called the Amazing You Method and put the pieces back together after losing themselves normally to childhood abuse, they would get to the end, right? They'd get to the end and they'd have this sacred nudge that we were talking about. Everyone's been talking about this morning. It's a sacred nudge, right? That says, hey, wake up. You have something bigger to do with this. This wasn't by accident. You're here to turn lemonade into lemons or lemons into lemonade. It's friggin' 5:30 in the morning, 5:50 in the morning. I'm still waking up. But I want you to answer that whisper. And like, Michaela mentioned here too, I was told when I went through my trainings, like, you can't talk about that. You can't talk about your story. You can't talk about the abuse. You can't talk about what happened to you. That's going to make people uncomfortable. It was before all of this blew up with the files and everything. And we began to really talk about this. Horrific things that are happening in childhoods, what so many of us have lived through, have had our nervous system trained as. And instead of focusing on that problem, right, you can focus on the solution, which isn't fixing yourself, because you're not broken. You're alive and you're amazing and you're incredible. You're not broken, right? So if you feel this call, like, I didn't experience any of that. I'm meant for more. I didn't live through that for nothing. It's a calling. It's a calling on your soul. And it's this time. We can talk about it now. You don't have to get your PhD. You don't have to become a therapist of sorts or a doctor of sorts to talk about it and to share from your wisdom of how did you create a new life for yourself, right? The same nervous system that protected you now tries to protect you from visibility, but we're here to heal it. We're here so you don't shrink anymore, right? So you don't overgive and you don't underprice and you don't over prepare or under prepare and get perfectionistic. You don't go out and collect certificates and degrees like I did, right? And you finally say, okay, I give myself permission. I want it right now, just hand on heart, if you would, and just say, I give myself permission to share my story. I give myself permission to be the leader. I give myself permission to be seen. And to be seen is to see yourself. I literally yesterday was going through it and I was like, just kind of battling it out with my fraud, right? Who are you two, right? My shrinker inside of me, the little girl inside of me, hair in my mouth, sorry. And I was just thinking and talking to this aspect of myself that just feels like no matter what I do, it doesn't hit. No matter what I do, it's not good enough. And I was just holding her. I mean, like, it doesn't even matter. You're out doing it. You're doing it. You're pushing through. Like Mikkel said, you're pushing through. You're living into this dream, right? And your calling is for your courage. Your wound is not your brand. Your trauma is not your headline in life, right? The leaders that you admire are not building these moments by moments in their suffering. They build moments because they have extracted the wisdom from their life. They've retrained their nervous system. They've learned how to talk to their inner child. They've turned their breakdown into that blueprint, that strategy. And then they get on stages. Then they do things, right? And we go through the phases of rebuilder and finding your message and getting your certifications and finding that confidence inside of you and retraining yourself. And then it's time to build, right? Build your empire, be the architect of your life, starting with your own vessel. And that's what I'm going to be talking about on Women's Thrive, right? Is how we have this circle of clarity, how we can transform not only our lives, but the lives of our families and the lives of other people worldwide, really depending on your heart. Where do you want to take the power of your story? You survived to build, you survived to lead, you survived to turn your story into something that frees others. And if this is calling to you, this is your sign, this is your morning. I woke up, I got up, and I am not a morning person to tell you, like, this is your time. And you were born for this reason. We're born in this time where we are waking up as a society. We are talking about things, and you can talk about it. You can share about it, and you can share about your breakthrough. And that's what I want to just encourage you to be the architect of your life, to help other people install this power within them. I remember just starting to speak and starting to talk, and the first big stages I talked in 2014, and I was just getting a divorce, and I was talking about childhood stuff, and it was so weird. It was so scary, but I did it anyway. I sucked at first, and I did it anyway. And you can do that too, and be surrounded by a whole bunch of people that are also speaking their truth and telling their story and here to inspire the world, because it's our time to wake up. It's our time to be the creators in our vessels. And yeah, that's what we're all going to be talking about here. Do it anyway. Exactly.
Oh, Alicia, that was so great. Thank you so much. And
You're
thank you
welcome.
for being willing to go there and talk about your story and be vulnerable, because, sometimes we see successful women, someone who has achieved, done the work, and it's like, it's easy to forget the things that you've gone through and what brought you here. And today you really showing that there is wisdom in everything that you've gone through, and it
Yeah.
can be used as a force of good and impact.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Alicia, where do people find you to connect with you?
So yourownuniversity.com, you can go there. There's a quiz there that will, really help you kind of discover what phase is your nervous system at. Are you in the rebuilder phase? Meaning like training your nervous system again. Are you in the messenger phase where you're looking for your message, getting your certifications, getting that confidence underneath you so you know how to do what you're here to do? Or are you in that architect phase, ready to create books or talks or programs and leaning into that, or just your life in general? It doesn't even have to be about coaching. That's just what the business is. So yeah, yourownuniversity.com.
Amazing. And we will see you at the Women Thrive Summit. I'm very excited to have you there.
Yes. March 17th, 7 p.m. And yeah, join for free. And VIP, if you want to VIP, it's going to be amazing. And yeah, I am so excited.
Amazing. Alicia, great to have you here. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. And we look forward to having you at the Women Thrive Summit. Thanks for waking up so early.
Thank you.
Oh, this is Alicia Antigua. So do make sure you head over and connect with her on social media. But before we introduce our next speaker, go over to womenthrivesummit.com, register for your spot, and let me know if you have already saved your spot. The speakers that you're meeting today, check out for their talks as well. Put it into your planner. Set the time aside, because it's going to be virtual and live events. So all of these speakers taking a live stage, and you can imagine just the organization that needs to go behind the scenes, being able to host our speakers from all around the world. So it's definitely not a small thing, and we look forward to seeing it for this entire week, 16th to the 20th of March. Ooh, we got one more speaker. Who's ready? I see her ready. She's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, let me introduce our last speaker. I'm very excited to bring her to the stage, because I know what she's sharing today, women definitely need as a building block to success. So today we're inviting Aileen Boyle as the founder and CEO of Photo, a sales and revenue architect known for ripping up the old playbook on how women do sales and revenue generation. She is the person founders call when the numbers don't match the brilliance of their work, when revenue feels wobbly, when they're ready to scale the systems and hold under pressure. Well, hello there, Aileen.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How are you?
Oh, we're looking forward to hearing your strategies. Well, I'm not sure how much you're going to share on today's session, but I know there's a lot more coming our way during the summit. Aileen, I'll hand over the stage to you and I'll be back at the end to have a chat.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. So, not sure what time it is with you, but I'm based in Scotland. It's 11 a.m. And I'm so excited to be talking here specifically because we've got the Thrive Summit coming up. So I just wanted to share something with you. I had been doing my usual research. You know, we all do it. We want to stay sharp. We want to stay relevant. But as I did it, I was watching out there and I kept seeing this same kind of undercurrent. And it's one I can only describe as a quiet collision of what I call performative behavior and that invisible load that particularly women entrepreneurs carry. And you know what? I recognized it immediately because I've lived that. You know, for years, I felt like that square peg in a round hole in the world of sales and selling. You know what I mean, ladies? You know, I was really good at what I did. Clients respected me. Results did follow. But the way selling was modeled around me, the scripts, the tone, the handle the objections, the always be closing, it never felt natural. And so what did I do? I did what most women do. I adjusted myself. I became slightly louder in meetings. I filled silence instead of letting the silence work. I justified my pricing before anybody got a chance to question. I discounted it. That was the performance side. And then the invisible cognitive load, you know, replaying those conversations in my head over and over again and feeling responsible for every delay and carrying the weight of every maybe. And on the outside, you know, I may look confident, but internally, I was carrying a pressure that nobody could see. That's the collision. Now, I work with women who are exceptionally capable. They're intelligent, they're experienced, their clients respect them. And yet when it comes to sales or selling activity, something feels really heavy for them than it should, heavier than it should. And it's not that things are broken. It's just effort heavy. And so then they start over explaining and then they start, you know, softening what should be a clear recommendation. And they start discounting themselves mentally before the person in front of them even has a chance to do that. And then they maybe finish up with think about it rather than helping the person in front of them make that clear decision. And the decision may be that you don't work together, but it needs to be a clear decision. So what happens then is then your pipeline carries the load, or you feel responsible for momentum. And that is what I call scale versus the strain. And you need to pivot that. Because if your energy is the engine, and energy is everything, you have to bring the energy. But if it's the engine, and if everything depends on how switched on you are, then that's not going to scale. Because what if you're having a bad day? And the strain is subtle and it's exhausting. And it just looks like you and feels like you're never fully exhaling. So that's when the revenue gap widens. And that is when leadership in sales becomes a real strength, because it doesn't chase clarity, it actually designs it. And when that architecture beneath your sales and selling anchors your expertise, your identity, the thing that you bring to your clients that's going to sort them out, you don't need to act. You don't need to persuade. You don't need to become someone else. You simply lead. And that is the lens I'm going to bring to my talk at the Women Thrive Summit. So my talk is called The Revenue Gap Ends Here. Women Leading the Sales Revolution. And I'm going to unpack this very topic of why confidence isn't the issue. Oh my goodness, if you and I had heard for every time we heard that, when someone said, oh, you just need to be more confident, we would all be trillionaires, wouldn't we? Because it's not that, it's a design issue. I was that square peg in a round hole, but when you redesign the hole, there is no square peg. And if you ever watched The Matrix, there is no peg, like there is no spoon. I would love to see you there so that I can share with you how it's going to stop feeling like acting, stop feeling heavy, and start feeling like authority.
Hey, let's fill that revenue gap for our ladies. And I think so many business founders and entrepreneurs can definitely relate to some of those struggles and challenges, and the need for consistency. And you can only do that through processes, especially if you want to scale and grow your business.
Yeah.
That is really fundamental. And but you won't know what you need to do until you really create an architecture from the beginning. And
That's
this is
it.
what you support people to do.
Yeah. And what got you here is not necessarily what's going to get you going forward. And I need to be really clear on that. You know, when you started, what you did then was suitable then. You know, so never dismiss what you've already done. It's just when it starts to feel grinding that's when we need to look at it again.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I know that from experience. When it started to grow and scale, I'm like, okay, this is going to require a lot of new skills, a lot of different mindset as well, like seeing things from a different perspective, and also, you know, creating processes and systems, which wasn't required before you got to that stage. But now, if you want to grow and scale, that is imperative. Otherwise, you won't be able to grow. So is that what you're going to delve in a lot more at the Women Thrive Summits in practice?
Yeah, so I'm going to share with people that are watching what the women that I'm working with are doing, how they're moving away from that feeling of performative selling and sales, what's working for them, and people will be able to take something away that day and be able to implement it that day. You know, we haven't got an awful lot of time to test and try. We want to know what's going to take our business going forward. So that is what I wish for the people who come along and listen. And just get something they can implement straight away.
Yeah, I love what Mikhail said. This is good, Aileen. Emotions can't be the engine if you want to scale.
No, your identity, absolutely. Who you are, what you bring, how you help, definitely. But not the emotions, because like I said, if you're having a bad day, you need something to lean into. We all do, just on a day-to-day basis in our lives. And so why not have that for your business? Just have that framework, have that structure, so that you know what comes next, so you can guide your people to exactly what they need.
Yeah. And I think this goes beyond inspiration. This goes really practical stuff that you can do to make sure that momentum doesn't drop off when you need to take a minute or to pause, or, you know, be a mother or a wife, or you just need a sip of margarita by the beach.
Absolutely. You know, we are all incredibly emotional about our businesses, and why not? We know we're creating a legacy. We know we're changing lives. I'm not saying don't be emotional about your business. You have to. People do buy into that. But in those conversations, the people you're talking to, what they need is guidance and structure, as do you. So, you know.
Where do people connect with you, Aileen?
So I spend an awful lot of time on LinkedIn, so you can find me aileen.boyle.entrepreneur. I have a Facebook page, which is Aileen Boyle Commercial Director. And that is where you will find information about what I'm doing, what I'm up to, and a bit more information about what I'm going to talk about.
Amazing. Great to see you, Aileen. Thanks so much for showing up. And we look forward to seeing you at the Women Thrive Summit in March.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great to have you here. Oh, so this was our final speaker to wrap it up and give you just a last bit of seal to show you what to expect at the Women Thrive Summit. How many of you have saved a spot? And how many of you already upgraded your ticket? Because by upgrading your ticket today, not only you get access to front row seat at the Women Thrive Summit, but you also get to all the digital goodies that our speakers have prepared, worth more than $1,000. And also you get the replay access to all the past summits and their goodie bags too. It is worth so much. So you can already start tapping into the content and all the talks that our previous speakers from past year summits have already shared. So you can already start growing and transforming and consuming the content that is going to truly make an impact in your life and your business. I want to bring back my co-host just to say hello and to help us wrap up today's showcase. Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. That is takeaway quote of the day. All you need is a sick margarita by the beach. I think you need to put that on socials because I'm there with you. Where is it? Where is it?
I'm gonna have to go and make a post about that. I don't know if I've got pictures to go, so I might have to run down to the beach and to get myself a little alcohol-free margarita since I'm still breastfeeding.
What a wonderful event. I really love the themes and just complemented itself so beautifully. I really, really enjoyed our event this morning. I'm so excited for the summit.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of breakthroughs, and it never fails to amaze me. Just, what happens during the summit like this, and when women do show up and spend the time to hang out in these virtual rooms with our speakers, suddenly I see comments in the chat, and even after event, I needed to hear this. I'm just feels like this has spoken to my heart. This has really unlocked something for me. So whether you're going to join for one talk, 5 talks, or the entire summit, there is something for you, and I know it's going to transform. You may not even know what you need right now, but just trust your gut, trust your guidance to join at the right time. And I know you're going to find speakers who are going to speak to your heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to have you with us, and the speakers will love it. And let's all get together and create magic and transformation.
Just a reminder, bring a hat. Bring a hat, maybe a margarita, maybe some pom-poms. Hey, we're going to be dancing as well. So just letting you know that every speaker have prepared their theme song before every talk. So we're going to have a bit of fun and move our bodies as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I always love the dance song, favorite bit.
Yeah, and when you register, you already get access to our playlist for the summit, so you can already start getting in the mood and the groove of the summit, a theme for this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Abigail, we'll be back later on today for part 2 of the speaker showcase. So if you're watching this right now, make sure you tap into later event streaming across our Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube at Women Thrive Media. And we look forward to seeing you then. Thanks, Abigail, for being an amazing co-host.
Thank you for being an amazing co-host. Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work, and certainly behind the scenes there's an amazing team at Women Thrive that helps make it all happen. So big shout out to our wonderful team behind the scenes. Shout out to our speakers who were here today to pour into you and deliver their talks, mini talks, because the rest of it you'll get to hear at the Women Thrive Summit. And to all the women who woke up so early to be here, and of course to you ladies who have tuned in to be here, to be present, to celebrate our speakers and leave a comment or share this live. We truly appreciate you. We look forward to seeing you at a later event today, but also make sure you save your spot for the summit. Take care for now. Bye.